Okay, James Gallo from Country 100, the voice of the Warriors. I've been listening to every game. You're looking good, man. Aren't they feeding you out there?
Probably too much. Probably too much.
Dude, hey, the job's not done. Why not us? How's that all been? Go.
It's, I think at the start it was a bit overwhelming, just with, the planning and, just trying to get here was pretty overwhelming. And for me anyways, the players, nothing kind of rattles these guys nowadays. It's water off their back. But, when you finally get here and you can start, getting to the games and planning for a broadcast, it starts to settle in a little bit. A lot of off ice things that I worry about that the players don't have to, but it's been exciting. It's been a fun atmosphere in the building. Some pretty entertaining games for the Moose Jaw Warriors so far, and hopefully 2 more to go.
Dude, here's the thing. I told you I've been listening to you every game, and your pregame show I was listening to it. And I laughed because you're sitting there with Kletzel, and you're like, we're moments away from the first ever Memorial Cup game for the Moose Jaw. You're like, I could tell you were overwhelmed. And the thing about the players is they're young, dumb, and broke. They don't know what they're in. They won't know till years down the line how big a deal this is, right? And thank God they figured it out in time, like that win over Drummondville last night, James.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, I can't speak for other teams, but, with this team, every game is just another game. And I think sometimes that's a good thing to look at it, right? I mean, not getting caught up in, the magnitude of the games, trying to stay, managing how you stay loose, but still you're focused. And I think it's hard for these young guys at this age. There's a lot of distractions around, most of these guys, they're 2 months behind in off-season training or a month behind off-season training. A lot of these guys are going to have maybe 2 weeks off, and they're going to head to their NHL development camps as well coming up at the end of the month. But it's been fun. I think for Moose Jaw, it's one of those things. Being in the community for 24 years now, I understand how important it is, and I think as the playoffs went on, the players started to understand how much it meant to the community. When they got that send off before Game 7. To take on the Saskatoon Blades in the conference final, they were taken back. They kind of wished they were playing that night, and unfortunately had to sit around for a day. And then, they got the police escort when they won the conference final back in, and just the look on their faces. They thought we were getting pulled over on the highway, but then they figured out that it was a police escort, and you got hundreds of people waiting for us at 1:30 in the morning. And the welcome back after the 2 games against Portland was amazing. We left early last Wednesday to head out to Saginaw, and there were still hundreds of people at 7:30 in the morning saying goodbye to the guys. And I think they understand how important it means to the community, and talking to the players. And I like how the players have responded to a lot of the questions from the national media and from some of the local media. Is they understand, they get it. This is big for Moose Jaw, and they've talked a lot about the support that they've received from their community. And, they're Moose Jaw, or they're legends forever, right? In the city of Moose Jaw for what they've accomplished. Yeah. But they all know there's more to come. They also know that the big one is 2 games away, and that's what they're focused on. The game against Drummondville, some guys were asking me, are they tense? Are they loose? I said, you know what? It's a tough group to read. I think they were focused is probably the best way to describe it. The third period last night, probably, a little more adventurous than we would have liked to seen. But, Jackson Unger was amazing. And, in big games, sometimes it's the unlikely hero. And Aiden Ziprick was that for the Warriors with a shorthanded goal.
Patrolman Pete writes in from Winnipeg, and he says, the Warriors feel like a team of destiny. Even a couple of years ago, you could see the pieces in place for a run like this. And, of course, the Warriors have the Winnipeg history. So I think there's a lot of hockey fans in Winnipeg following this really closely. But, James, I've been following the Memorial Cup since 1980, the first one I attended. I'm that old. I wasn't very old, but I was there. And it kind of the last couple of years, I feel, has lost its specialness in a way. But this year, it's back. This is just from what I'm seeing from the outside. TSN sent all the big nuts, and the Red Wings greats are there. Like, it seems like really special. That's how it's coming across. Is that what it's like?
Yeah, I mean, I think, to me, it goes into the planning of the Memorial Cup, right? I mean, Darren McCarty was at the game last night. So in Saginaw
And
it's different,
Draper.
Rod,
And, yeah.
because it's yeah, like it's not, but it's here. It's not kind of your traditional hockey market. I've talked to some guys from the Ontario Hockey League over the last week, just kind of get a sense of the community. They say like it's growing. It's not. I don't think it's the same as the U.S. markets in the Western Hockey League, and I'm sure you would agree. Those are madhouses. Like they're bonkers down in the States, and I love it. I think anybody should go down to the U.S. division in the Western Hockey League. I think it's amazing, but it's different here, and it's how you plan your event. So Rimouski's hosting the Memorial Cup next year, and you just think of the possibilities of getting guys like Sidney Crosby and Brad Richards and Vincent Lecavalier involved. It's how you build your event that makes it special. And I think here in Saginaw, it's been a good education process, I think, for a lot of fans who probably didn't even know Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan existed, I'm pretty sure. To their credit, I mean, the community of Saginaw has really, I think, adopted the Moose Jaw Warriors. I know when they're playing Moose Jaw, they don't really like them that much, but a lot of people then just walking around the community in Saginaw. I'm spending more time in Frankenmuth. That's where they have 3 other teams, is in Frankenmuth, which is just outside of Saginaw. But a lot of people saying if it's not Saginaw, they want Moose Jaw. And I think that goes to show the likability of the Moose Jaw Warriors, or maybe the dislike of the London Knights might be the other way to take a look at it. But it's going to be a it's going to be a bonkers game between Saginaw and London. I've heard they brought in extra security as well for the game tonight. But the Warriors are a very likable team, and I like how the fans of Saginaw have kind of latched on a bit, and they've been really intrigued to the story of the Moose Jaw Warriors. I've answered a lot of questions just about the community, the organization, and how this team went through that conference final and arguably one of the best playoff series that you'd ever seen. The best series I've ever seen was against the Saskatoon Blades. So it's been fun, it's been exciting, but still, again, like I said, still lots more to go.
They're still talking about that series here, and we'll be talking about it for decades. They're saying it's the best series in the history of the Western Hockey League. But that's behind you now, James. Do you want to pick a winner tonight, or would you not want to go out on that limb?
I think I think it's too tough to call, in my opinion. I heard London beat Saginaw in the Western Conference Final in the Ontario Hockey League. It went 6 games. I heard it got pretty heated as well. So I think it could be a madhouse. They're 2 kind of different teams, in my opinion. I think London's got a lot of swagger, and I think they should. What's it? Their 16th, 13th, or 16th the Memorial Cup appearance. They should have a lot of swagger. Saginaw, I think, obviously has the electricity of the hometown behind them. Both teams have some really good players on their team. I think London may be just a little more polished, whereas Saginaw, they can run and gun with the best of them. I think it's going to be a really good game. I don't know. It'd be too tough to call. If I had to really put it out there, I would maybe think London just because of the experience factor would probably be the reason why I would go to London.
I'm going with London too, but you know what? You're going to have to play them both, and I'll leave it with this. Take care of the moneymaker, James, because your biggest calls are still to come. Thanks for finding some time for us today, my friend.
Any time, Rod, for the voice of the Moose Jaw Miller Express.
How about that?
You got it, buddy. How about that? All right, man. Be safe. James Gallo,
Thanks, Rod.
the voice of the
Appreciate it.
Moose
Anytime.
Jaw Warriors. You bet, buddy. The pride of Strasbourg, Sask.